Have you ever found yourself in situations where you couldn't bring yourself to say no? Where you felt trapped, pressured, or controlled by people who seemed to have a negative impact on your life? It's a common struggle, one that many of us face at some point. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from these harmful influences and regain control over your life? Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." These words hold the key to our journey today. Imagine if there were a solution that could empower you to say no to those who make you feel inferior, those who pressured you into things you don't want to do, those who manipulate and control you, those who spread toxicity, and those who hinder your goals. I know the feeling because I've been there. I once struggled with saying no, allowing harmful people to disrupt my life. But then I discovered Stoicism, a philosophy that changed my life. In this video, I'll share my personal testimony and the transformative power of Stoicism. Watch the entire video to understand how Stoicism can help you stand up to harmful influences. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to reclaim their life. Take action now and change your life for the better. 1. People who make us feel bad about ourselves. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone made you feel inferior, where their words and actions left you questioning your self-worth? It's a common experience, and it often stems from our own insecurities. Insecurity is like a shadow that follows us, casting doubts on our abilities and preventing us from achieving our full potential. I used to be in the same boat, constantly doubting myself, and it was because I lacked the habit of saying no to people who brought me down. This lack of assertiveness not only affected my self-esteem, but also hindered my personal growth. The consequences of not standing up for ourselves are immense. It's like allowing the weeds of negativity to overrun our garden of positivity. Let me share a personal anecdote that might resonate with you. I once had a friend who had a knack for making sarcastic comments about my choices and dreams. Instead of standing up for myself, I would often just laugh it off. Over time, it eroded my self-confidence, making me question my decisions. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, provides profound wisdom on how to deal with such situations. It teaches us to focus on what's within our control and not to be disturbed by what lies beyond it. By practicing Stoicism, I learned to say no to the negativity and set boundaries. For instance, if someone makes a hurtful comment, I remember the Stoic teaching, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." It reminds me that I can control my reaction. So instead of internalizing their negativity, I respond calmly or choose not to engage. Now let me share with you an exercise that has worked wonders for me. It's simple yet incredibly effective. Whenever you encounter a situation where someone is making you feel bad about yourself, pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. If it is, calmly express your feelings and set your boundaries. The rewards of adopting this habit are both internal and external. Internally, you'll feel a surge of confidence as you assert yourself and stand up for your worth. Externally, you'll notice that people start to treat you with more respect and kindness. So, my friend, I urge you to start practicing this exercise now. Don't let the negativity of others hold you back. Take control of your life, regain your self-worth, and watch as your relationships and opportunities improve. You have the power to say no to those who bring you down and yes to a brighter, more fulfilling life. Begin today and let the transformation begin. 2. People who pressure us to do things we don't want to do. Have you ever been in a situation where someone was pressuring you to do something you didn't want to do? It's a common experience, and it can leave us feeling trapped and uncomfortable. We often find ourselves in these situations because we lack the habit of saying no to people who push us into things we're not comfortable with. The consequences can be significant, affecting our peace of mind, happiness, and personal growth. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, offers valuable insights into dealing with such situations. It teaches us to focus on what is within our control and not be disturbed by external pressures. By practicing Stoicism, I've learned to say no when necessary and to stand my ground. For example, imagine a friend pressuring you to go out for a night of drinking when you'd rather stay home and work on your personal goals. In this situation, you can apply the Stoic principle of focusing on what's within your control. You can calmly and assertively express your choice to prioritize your goals while understanding that you cannot control your friend's response. Stoicism has empowered me to stay true to my values and not be swayed by external pressures. This brings to mind a Stoic saying: "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Surrounding yourself with those who respect your choices and support your growth is essential. Let me share with you an exercise that has been a game changer for me. When faced with pressure to do something I don't want to do, I pause and take a deep breath. I ask myself if this situation is within my control. If it is, I calmly and firmly express my choice. If it's not, I remind myself to let go of the things I cannot change. This simple exercise has given me the confidence to stand my ground and maintain my integrity. The rewards of adopting this habit are both internal and external. Internally, you'll experience a sense of empowerment, knowing that you are staying true to your values. Externally, you'll notice that people will respect your boundaries and decisions, leading to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. So, I encourage you to start practicing this exercise now. Don't let external pressures dictate your choices. Take control of your life, assert your boundaries, and watch as your relationships improve, aligning with your true self. Begin today and let the transformation begin. 3. People who want to manipulate or control us. Have you ever felt the weight of someone trying to manipulate or control you, making you feel like a pawn in their game? It's an all too common experience, and it can leave us feeling powerless and vulnerable. The truth is, saying no to those who seek to manipulate or control us is not just about setting boundaries, but also about reclaiming our autonomy and self-worth. In such situations, it's often our lack of assertiveness and the habit of not saying no that put us at risk. The consequences can be dire: a loss of self-esteem, the feeling of being trapped, and the erosion of our self-worth. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, provides invaluable wisdom on how to navigate such treacherous waters. It teaches us to focus on what's within our control and to maintain our inner strength, even in the face of manipulative tactics. By practicing Stoicism, I've learned to say no to those who try to manipulate or control me, and it has been a game changer. A Stoic saying that resonates with me in such situations is, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." It reminds me that my power lies in my response to external pressures, not in yielding to them. Let me share a personal anecdote that might strike a chord with you. I once had a colleague who constantly tried to control my work, suggesting that their way was the only way. Instead of confronting the issue, I initially complied to avoid conflict. Over time, I realized that my self-worth was diminishing, and I was surrendering my autonomy. Now I'd like to introduce you to a practical exercise that has proven to be a powerful tool for me. When confronted with manipulative tactics, I pause and take a deep breath. I ask myself if this situation is within my control. If it is, I assert my boundaries calmly and firmly. If it's not, I remind myself that I can't control the actions of others. This exercise has not only given me the strength to say no, but also helped me maintain my sense of self. The rewards of adopting this habit are substantial. Internally, you'll experience a renewed sense of self-worth, knowing that you're no longer a pawn in someone else's game. Externally, you'll find that manipulative individuals will either respect your boundaries or move on, leaving you with healthier and more authentic relationships. So, I encourage you to start practicing this exercise now. Don't allow manipulation or control to erode your self-worth and autonomy. Reclaim your power, assert your boundaries, and watch as your relationships become more genuine and respectful. Begin today, and let the transformation begin. 4. People who are toxic or negative. Have you ever found yourself surrounded by people who constantly exude negativity or toxic behavior, dragging you down into a sea of pessimism and despair? It's an all too familiar situation, and it can have a profound impact on our well-being and mental health. Learning to say no to people who bring toxicity and negativity into our lives is essential for our personal growth and happiness. The inability to say no to these harmful influences often stems from a lack of assertiveness and a habit of putting others' needs before our own. The consequences can be severe: increased stress, decreased self-esteem, and a cloud of negativity that hovers over our lives. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, provides us with valuable insights on how to handle these situations. It teaches us to focus on what's within our control and not be swayed by the negative emotions of others. By practicing Stoicism, I've learned to say no to those who bring toxicity into my life and maintain my sense of inner peace. A Stoic teaching that resonates with me in such situations is, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. It reminds me that my tranquility and well-being are within my control, even when surrounded by negativity. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a practical exercise that has made a world of difference in my life. When faced with negativity or toxic behavior, I pause and take a deep breath. I ask myself if this situation is within my control. If it is, I assert my boundaries calmly and firmly, and I actively choose to maintain my positive mindset. If it's not, I remind myself that I can control my own reactions, which helps me avoid being dragged into the negativity. The rewards of adopting this habit are substantial. Internally, you'll experience a renewed sense of inner peace and positivity, even in the face of external negativity. Externally, you'll notice that people either respect your boundaries and adapt their behavior or distance themselves from your life, allowing you to cultivate healthier and more uplifting relationships. So, I encourage you to start practicing this exercise now. Don't let negativity and toxicity hold you back from a life filled with optimism and well-being. Reclaim your power, assert your boundaries, and watch as your relationships become more positive and nourishing. Begin today, and let the transformation begin. 5. People who prevent us from achieving our goals. Have you ever encountered people who, knowingly or unknowingly, stand in the way of your dreams and goals? It's a common struggle, and it can be incredibly frustrating. Learning to say no to those who hinder your progress is not just about setting boundaries. It's about reclaiming your path to success and personal growth. When we allow people to prevent us from achieving our goals, it's often because we lack the habit of assertiveness and fail to protect our dreams and aspirations. The consequences can be profound, from missed opportunities to unfulfilled potential. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy, offers valuable insights on how to address this issue. It teaches us to focus on what's within our control, which includes protecting our goals and dreams. By practicing Stoicism, I've learned to say no to those who obstruct my path and to maintain my determination. A Stoic principle that resonates with me in such situations is, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. It reminds me that obstacles and challenges are opportunities for growth, and that I have the power to overcome them. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a practical exercise that has been instrumental in my journey. It's simple yet incredibly effective. When faced with people who hinder your goals, pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself if this situation is within your control. If it is, assert your boundaries calmly and firmly, and remind yourself of your goals and why they matter. If it's not within your control, focus on finding a way to adapt and overcome the obstacle. This exercise has not only helped me stay on track, but also provided a sense of clarity and determination. The rewards of adopting this habit are substantial. Internally, you'll experience a renewed sense of determination and purpose. Externally, you'll find that people who truly support your goals will stand by you, and those who hinder your progress will either adapt or fall by the wayside. So, I encourage you to start practicing this exercise now. Don't let anyone stand in the way of your dreams and aspirations. Reclaim your path to success, assert your boundaries, and watch as your journey becomes more focused, fulfilling, and rewarding. Begin today, and let the transformation begin. In closing, let's remember the core purpose of our journey today: learning to say no to those who can be harmful to us. We've explored the power of Stoicism and how it empowers us to assert our boundaries and protect our well-being. We've discussed the importance of saying no to people who make us feel inferior, pressure us, manipulate us, spread negativity, or hinder our goals. It's about regaining control, self-worth, and peace of mind. As we conclude, I'd like to leave you with this thought. In every adversity lies the seed of an equivalent advantage. Our challenges can be our greatest teachers, propelling us toward personal growth and success. Now, I encourage you to take action. Apply what you've learned, practice saying no when necessary, and protect your dreams and aspirations. Your journey is unique, and you have the power to shape your future. Together, we can create a world where we stand up for our well-being, support each other in our quests for personal growth, and nurture positive, uplifting relationships. Thank you for your time and attention. If you have questions or seek further guidance, feel free to reach out. Remember, your journey is that of a warrior, so like, subscribe, and share. And let's continue this path of empowerment and self-discovery together.